My goal is to try to get people who can't understand where we're coming from, where you see what's going on in the world right now.
I panicked a little bit.
Hey man, bring back the old days.
I was always ready to go.
Anytime you show up to the party with this, it better be.
Yo, what up?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Menemies Podcast. We're back again for you guys.
Hey, hold up. I don't think you motherfuckers heard me. I said, yo, what up?
What's up?
All right, well,
There was no S at the end of that. What?
I guess they're awake.
Mhm.
So here we are, man. As James mentioned, we're back again. 53?
53.
5 trade. Anyway, man, as always, we're going to jump into whiskey time. And I'm a little proud of myself because I got us a bourbon. I got us a bourbon.
Yeah, you did.
We're back in the bourbon game. You know what I mean? American fucking good old home fucking grown Old Forester. And this is Prohibition time right here. So you guys want to peep
Old
that out on
America,
YouTube?
huh?
This is Prohibition 1920 Old Forester. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I thought, you know what, guys? I'm on top of the fucking world today. Let's bring something in that sells that. 115 proof. 57% alcohol by volume. We're going to the loony bin.
I kind of regret pouring so much.
Yeah, well, don't. Right? You won't in a little bit.
No,
You know what I mean?
Travis looked over to me. He's like, "Is that enough?" I'm like, "No, it's too much."
Yeah. I was like, "Do you want me to keep going?" And you were like, "No." And now I kind of wish I would have went with your pour. I didn't realize the ABV.
Yeah, no, it's up there. And so just to give you a little background on this one, again, this is Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style. They make this, so Old Forester was one of the few distilleries that actually had permission to distill during Prohibition period. Now that was based on medicinal reasons. Apparently at the time, whiskey was thought to have some medicinal purposes.
It still does.
So they gave them a license to go ahead and distill during that period of time. And again, so this is Prohibition style, which lends itself to the high proof and the high ABV. And here we are to see what we think about what the fuck Al Capone and them was running. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You guys seen Lawless?
Oh, I was just gonna mention that. I love that movie.
Because I'm a
We should
fucking
review that, man.
Future review, right?
yeah. Because I'd be Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Me,
Tom
Tom
Hardy?
Hardy, right
No,
now.
you're Cricket. You're Cricket. No, but thank you for getting the.
Oh, fuck you, man. Calling me Cricket.
Thank you for getting that.
Cricket was a master distiller,
boy.
son. Okay?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But thank you for getting the high proof bourbon because that's kind of where I was trying to go, like in the next few,
Yeah.
kind of that bourbon game. And I've had a
Yeah.
high proof one, and I loved it. So I think that the high proof bourbons are kind of what I gravitate towards, not the sweet ones. So thank you for bringing this to the podcast.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you.
You know what, James? It's funny you mentioned that because I also felt like we got to get to a bourbon fling here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Get that
down
kinda-
Bourbon Avenue,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Jack Daniels.
Bourbon Lane.
Bourbon. What? If you guys don't watch The Office, you wouldn't get it. Electric. What? Electric City. Travis, you know what I'm
I
talking
thought you were
about.
going DMX with that.
Oh,
Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, hey man, R.I.P. to my boy DMX.
That was gonna be Anthony's truth.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Well, it still can be.
took it away.
Took
It
it away.
still can be.
Look at
I have a truth today.
Oh, do you? Okay,
truth
good.
I got two, so I could let you have one.
Oh,
if you
thank
want. You know what
I
mean?
appreciate that, my friend.
Anyway, man. So back to the whiskey. So there's a little background on it. Everybody gets it. Presentation, man. This particular one we got, it got this nice teal fucking seal. You
Teal
know what I
seal.
mean? They're really working hard. Teal seal.
Mm-hmm.
Right over the top there, letting you know that this shit's 115 proof. So bring your A game.
That's right.
Black cork.
Yeah, black top cork.
And we're back to
Wood.
It is wood, isn't it?
Yeah. And again, so this is it looks a little older as far as the label goes. There's nothing fancy about the font or anything like that.
I like the fonts. I like the colors.
Yeah,
Bottle's
I'm
nice.
fine with it. It's just not fancy, right?
I feel like if I
nothing
dropped this,
fancy.
it wouldn't break like this bitch ass Riptide. But yeah, I like this.
Well, I
It's
mean,
a sturdy bottle.
if you
It's a
kick it
sturdy
into the
bottle.
fucking wall, you know that's usually what happens.
No, if you tip it over.
It looked so. If you don't know the bottle of Riptide, it looked at James wrong,
Yeah.
and he decided
Had
in
to
that
smash it.
second
He
that
flexed
he
on
was
it.
over it, and he wasn't gonna have it. None of that.
He pulled his
So
Thor fucking thunder.
That's what
the
he
god
did.
of thunder shit out and just
Mhm.
fucked the bottle
He
up.
handled it.
And I was really aching for some Riptide.
That's what it was. Nobody was.
I'm gonna make you a candle out of this. You seen that trend?
Hey.
No, I haven't, but it seems like you could do so.
Yeah, the label's intact. So
It is.
Yeah, there you go.
If I came here and you had a fucking candle, a Riptide candle,
No,
I'd
it's for your room.
be thrilled. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
All right.
So
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's
It's a presentation. Everybody weighed in.
let's
You guys all good with that?
this and sniff it.
Let me look at the presentation. That's cool.
All right, we got it. It's a cool.
Nailed it.
No, we're gonna hit the nose.
Anthony, as ever, concise.
I like it, man. A few words, man.
Hello.
Hello.
You know,
Hello.
I thought we were getting into him. Sorry.
Mm.
I got a little ahead of myself.
No. Please.
Okay, and
Smells good.
How are
Mhm.
you?
how are you?
I like it.
Dandy.
I like it.
I'll let you guys go ahead.
Mhm. So I'll jump off and just say that, like, even out of this glass, which is, we can all agree tends to, minimize some of the harshness that you would get necessarily. Even still with this glass, I still get that alcohol kick, and I'm excited about it. And I can't imagine what you guys are getting out of it. Also, shout out to Ken.
Try to know.
Yeah, shout out to Ken for getting these Isla Gold glasses. These are what you would, more traditionally say are like
Sniffers.
whiskey glasses,
Yeah.
sniffers, if you will. These will definitely concentrate the aroma.
Yeah, if you guys heard last week, everybody was ridiculing me for taking the other ones home. So I thought, well, I'm not
Yeah.
bringing those back.
Let
but
me smell that
Yeah,
one.
please.
we'll bring you something else.
I don't know that going from that to that you'll get the same effect, but even still, like I was saying,
yeah.
even still out of that
Yeah.
glass, you get that harshness right up front.
Yeah, but I think for this one, it definitely has that aroma.
Mm-hmm.
It's a punchy aroma.
Yeah,
I'm not getting like flavor.
no,
I'm not catching any vanilla or little sweet notes in there. I'm just getting kind of a punch.
It just lets you know that you're about to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony?
I'm not getting a punch.
No. Yeah. Same.
I think initially, let me try. Let me smell yours. Yeah.
Kind of whisk it around a little bit. Aerate it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I got a big one right there. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I smell it more in yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I smell it more in yours. Yeah,
So
it
these
hits- it
glasses
hits a
will
little more.
kind of divert that from you a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I feel like, so me,
Same.
when I smell it, I smell a rye.
Mm.
And I don't know if that's just me, but I get a very rye sense from it.
It should be spicy, so I think that's why we're getting that vibe from it.
Perhaps.
So it definitely does smell like it's gonna have a spice to it.
Well, I'm just getting that rye, man. That like weird, like sourish
When-
kind of fucking.
When I take a big whiff, at the back end, I do get the spices, the smell, like where it tickles my nose.
Tickles your
Okay.
fancy.
Yeah, it tickles fancy.
Because you're pickled.
It does tickle my fancy.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
All right, let's get into it.
Yes, please.
Let's see what the palate's all about.
Excited
All
to
right.
see what
Cheers.
it is.
It's not.
Cheers.
Wow.
Wow. Oh,
You gotta show that video. I'm drinking that.
Surprisingly
test.
smooth up front
Well, yeah.
with a little kick down the back door.
It's
Wow.
very smooth for fucking the proof it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
way smoother than I would have thought.
I immediately got like a. It's more complex than I was expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be like straight up, just like
It's
In-
still,
in your-
it's still building.
in your face. No, as I'm
crazy.
talking, I'm gonna have to take a second.
yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
no,
getting
it's
this
very good.
weird. I'm sorry, but
No,
like,
no,
I'm getting
please do.
It's weird, like a like fucking just like candy almost. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
It's fucking whoa.
It has like
man.
a weird sweetness to it.
yeah.
it was tough.
Mm.
It was tough.
Even
It-
and that say something even out of that glass.
Yeah. Initially, it wasn't too bad, but I let it sit
Mhm.
a little bit, and man, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was strong. At the back end, it burned.
This is not for women or children.
No.
This is
But,
not for the weak and weary.
Anthony's like, hate it.
Mhm.
This is
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think this is not. It's not tickle for my
Not your
tickle my
style.
fancy. No.
this is medicinal.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
the medicinal
This is strictly
properties
for
to this.
medicinal reasons, dude.
You can use
I know.
this as an antiseptic.
You can use this as a numbing agent.
I know you said it was smooth. I mean, to me, it didn't really go down smooth.
I find it to be very smooth.
I feel like this is what you would drink before the doctor saws your fucking forearm off. like bite down on this leather belt,
fuck
take
me
a
up.
swig of
Let's
this, and then we're about to chop your shit off.
Yeah, I I find it surprisingly smooth.
Yeah, I
and
like
For
it.
what it is, yeah.
And then there's a moment where it's like, which way is it gonna go? Is it gonna be overpowering? And then it just the spice just starts taking over.
The flavors.
And I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
Because the spice and the flavors start coming out more. But there's that period right there where you're like, oh, is this gonna be really harsh?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the spice and the flavors kind of just carry it through.
Mm.
It is intense,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's way smooth up front.
I think it's hard to put your finger on what the flavors you get out of it are.
Put your
Mhm.
finger on it.
But I mean, I could put my finger in it.
Oh,
Yes, please.
But I do think though, like I said, like to what everyone's saying, you smell it and it comes off strong, right? And so you already kind of get your mind going to that, and it's a very like vodka kind of like, you know. And there's no good vodka. Like vodka's vodka. Like none of it tastes good, right? Like it tastes.
What does Ron Swanson say? Clear alcohol for rich women on diets.
yeah, Ron Swanson.
But I definitely think you can hold this one in the mouth for
Well,
a
that's
sec.
what I was gonna say, right?
You know?
Like, okay, like so everything that you from the appearance and the proof, and then the smell, you're kind of weary of it, and then you taste it, and even then, even on the front, you're kind of like, well, where am I going here? And then it's actually much mellower than you would think. It's very palatable. It's almost sweet at the end. On the back end, you get this weird, like I can't put my finger on what it is, but it's like this weird sweet, and I like it.
You know, it almost kind of reminds me, if anybody out there is a fan of like a cab, like a red wine, a cab, a real dry one. When you drink like a really dry cab, it's like there's not much up front, and then all of a sudden the flavor just
At the end.
And I feel like this is along the same lines. There's not much up front, and then all of a sudden all these aromas start coming out.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. It has, and it reminds me of that. And like you said, the sweetness comes through at the end. The spice comes through, and it almost creeps through your nose and everything at that point. Clears you up. If you got any sinuses,
Oh yeah, no, my allergies
this
are
is a
gone.
good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a good one.
One thing that we didn't mention, and you kind of brought up, is the appearance of the actual color itself. It's pretty damn dark.
Pretty dark.
And it has like a
pretty
red.
American
It
out
has
here.
a red tint to it, which is kind of nice. It's definitely like stands out. Like if you had this, if we were to do a blind tasting, I think of like some bourbons all in a row, I feel like I could pick this one out. Like having seen the color of it, because this is definitely unique. I would say
Yeah, I agree
It's
with
a
you.
very good color.
it's very medicinal. It looks like cough syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ratings?
All right.
Yeah. I want to hear Anthony's first, actually.
what was the price point here?
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
good.
sorry.
That's worth mentioning as well. Good. Good call.
I want to say it was like, let's just say about $60.
Okay. Okay, so we're for me, it wouldn't be something I drink straight up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably mix
Old
this.
fashioned, maybe?
Oh,
Yeah.
that would
Old fashioned.
Yeah, you're right. It would
so I'm
hold
gonna-
up.
Yeah, it would definitely. I would definitely use it in old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
But straight up, I
Mhm.
would say to me, I'm gonna go overall 4.5.
Really? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's the fucking? All right.
I was
here
not
we
a
go.
fan of
I
it.
was about to lose my shit. Dude.
Not straight up.
The SHS calculator.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Anthony, 4.5.
Mhm.
Got it.
For me, I'm looking for this kind of bourbon. Like if I'm gonna drink any kind of bourbon, it's got to have a punch to it.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that this one has like a smooth front and then a kick, and then the spiciness, like that's what I'm looking for in a rye. Like it's giving me that kind of spice.
Mm.
So I'm not surprised that you smelled the rye.
Yeah.
This shit is spicy,
Mhm.
and I like that. So for me, the fact that it's a bourbon
Mhm.
that I don't typically fuck with, I'm gonna give this one a 7.5, and I will just echo that and just say that if I had a bourbon on the shelf, I think this one would probably make my shelf. And I would drink it straight.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is a real good straight hard drink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something that's gonna punch me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's high proof.
Mm-hmm.
I would drink this one straight,
For sure.
and it'd be on my shelf.
Yeah. All right. So for me, especially coming from looking at it as a suburban price point, all factors taken into account here, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give it an 8. I actually really like it. I think it's very good. I think it for the proof and the ABV. I think it is surprisingly smooth. It makes me think of like a Woodford Reserve. I don't want to throw that out there, but I'm gonna throw that out there. You know what I mean? It does, and I think this tastes better than Woodford. I think it's smoother than Woodford. Woodford, I think, was higher proof, if I'm not mistaken,
or close to it at least.
Yeah. And we've had other bourbons, but they weren't as high in proof. So I'd compare it to that. I like this better. I like the bottle better. The design. So yeah, I'm gonna go with an 8. And I'll leave it at that.
So for me, I'm more of a bourbon fan. Like that's where I started in the whiskey game. I feel like there's a lot of them, and I've tried quite a few of them. This one for me is like kind of harsher in what I would look for from a bourbon. Not that it's a bad thing, and kind of understanding like where your guys' palate is and like how much of a fan you are of like the Isla whiskeys and the smokiness and all that stuff. Like this for sure is definitely on the higher end as far as intensity as bourbons go. But for me, like having an all-around kind of sense of what a good bourbon is, not that my taste is different, but
better than ours.
No. What I'm saying is like I've had quite a few, and I do enjoy the style. So for me, this is kind of like on the higher end of the intensity. And I to Anthony's point, I think this would be really, really well placed in like an old fashioned or some kind of cocktail. The fact that it is a higher ABV. And the flavors are so intense, like it would really stand up to like being mixed in a cocktail. I think this would be a fantastic old fashioned.
Can you make us an old fashioned next week?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
We talked about it before.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to have an old fashioned.
Yeah, I
want to tell you guys one of my new hobbies.
Mhm.
As you guys hear, I fucking make up one every week.
Mhm.
Well, I'd like to start.
Masturbation's not a hobby.
Well, yeah, the fuck it is. It's a fucking occupation.
There's an art to it. It's an American pastime.
Yeah, it's fucking like baseball.
Yeah.
When you
But
do it
no,
like
but-
that, I guess it's an art like.
Yeah, when you do it like me, you got a masturbatorium, son. You're in the game.
Was that I Love You Man? He's like he had the lotion. And
cave?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He's like, yeah, I masturbate. What's the problem?
Yeah. No, that's weird and gross, and I would never do that. But no, I'm kidding. Obviously, yes.
Mhm.
But no, but seriously, I want to get into kind of making cocktails. I actually went out over the weekend and I procured myself a bunch of cocktails, good drinks to mix, like Malibu and shit like that, right?
Mhm.
You get a scoobler?
A scooter.
You know, goddamn well, I got a scoobler. I got two. I got a shaker, a scoobler, a little fucking ounce, half ounce, whatever the fuck.
A jigger.
Yeah, you shut your fucking
Hey, that's
mouth.
what it's
You watch
called.
your mouth.
That is what it's called, my enigma. All right.
Come on. Come on.
That's thanks to the shoes I'm wearing,
Mhm.
which I should show on the camera, but I won't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He's showing everybody else. So
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do it.
Peep the Instagram.
I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Anyway, yeah, I'd like to make drinks. I'm not gonna make them here because that'd be weird.
Make us
But-
old fashioned.
Yeah.
Come to the house.
bring the scoobler.
Come to the house.
Scoobler.
Bring the scoop.
You know what? None of you three have been in my house, and it's fucked up.
Hey,
you never invited
never
us.
invited me.
I have never been invited either.
Let's
I've
take
never
the
been
podcast.
invited. Not once.
I happen
Let's
to
take the
know
podcast
both the
to go.
people that live there, and I still haven't gotten invited. That's twice the chance.
Not even like, hey, can you help me move some shit up
Never.
three
Yeah,
flights?
never.
Nothing.
No.
Oh, you know
Never.
what? I remember you guys putting on the floor, driving right by my house, sending me pictures like, "Hey, we're passing your house, but fuck you."
That
we're
was a
not gonna
bid for
invite you."
attention,
Yeah.
and
In hopes that he would hit us up. and be like,
invite. Hey, well, why don't you come over?
Yeah.
Never heard that.
No, I was like, "Hey, I
I
would have
think you were
helped."
at work.
No, I was at
have
home.
you been invited to his house?
I've never been invited.
Have
to
you?
Neither
this.
have. No, I certainly have
I
not.
haven't
You
either.
know, maybe we
I've
should
known
do a
him for
podcast there.
I've known him for 43 years, and I've never been invited to his house once.
I'm starting to feel like the only way we're gonna get invited is we end up at 4th and Mill just to have a fucking drink, and he's like, "Hey, let's just go."
I live right
Let's
here.
go back to my
I live
place.
right
Did you guys
Wait,
know?
Did you guys know I live right here?
Hey, don't
Yeah.
you always give my locale out, dude. I got
we should-
stalkers, son.
Oh, shut the hell up.
Yeah, I
I
do.
think we should all just show up, and then.
I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
Well, he
What's
lives in
what's
a
your
pretty.
apartment number?
It's a pretty big apartment complex.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I've been there
It's
before.
not that big.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, you
Let's
would.
go door to door.
Travis, what is your rating? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So anyway, as far as bourbons go, I think I'm comfortable giving this a 7, like a straight up 7. I would give it a little bit higher, but because of how intense it is, I feel like if you're looking for a bourbon, like this is going to be kind of on the higher end of the intensity. And not that that's a bad thing, because it's very clearly it's not trying to be anything that it's not. Like that's the Prohibition style. You know what I mean? Like it's very clear up front. This is what you're gonna get. But as far as like bourbons go, for me, if I was looking for something just to sip on by itself and not mix, I would want something a little bit more mellow, like a little bit more complex. And so for me, because of how harsh it can be, it's not a bad thing, but I feel like I would give it a higher rating if it was a little bit more mellow.
And I just want to say, for me, I'm not a bourbon person. I'm not a bourbon guy. So
I don't like the sweet smooth bourbons.
Yeah.
I've had like a few bourbons, like I said, higher proof, that when you drink you have to cough after.
Yeah.
Or like when you drink you can't be smoking a cigarette at the same time.
No.
Because they're very like 125 proof.
highly flammable.
Like it's just too much.
Like, fucking 151. What are you drinking?
No,
dog?
it's
Like,
I forgot the name of the bourbons that I've had, but it was like I've never heard of them. High proof, and I'm like, oh, cool, I can drink this, and I drink it, and I immediately have to cough, like just like exhale so much fucking like fumes. I guess it's just fucking so that's why I kind of I still think that this is not top, but yeah, I think this cocktail drink. Can we get old fashioned next week? Can we get old fashioned?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like this would be
amazing.
A great old fashioned.
Yeah, it'd be amazing in a cocktail.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
No.
Well, everyone, that'll give us an average score of 6.75.
It's a good score.
Not a bad score,
bad,
man.
no.
Especially, I think,
We were kind of all over on that one.
yeah, we're a little all over the place, but ultimately, man, we brought it, and it's
We're back again.
it's a D plus. If you think that's good, I guess it's good.
D's get degrees.
In the bourbon scale, it might be, curved.
Well, I mean, I think too.
I think a 6.75 on our
slightly
show is
curved.
not bad.
I'm slightly curved myself, so
ew,
To the left.
it's weird. What's wrong with you guys, dude?
I don't feel.
Right down the aisle, baby.
yeah. Well, 2 inches, it doesn't give you a chance to see how curved it is or
Yeah.
not.
It's very low to the
I'll
ground.
I'll choke you to death.
Like a dead cat.
Dead cat's tail.
I don't feel like 6.75 is bad on our show.
No,
That's
no.
actually a decent fucking rating.
And I'll say this: you gave it a higher rating than I was expecting. Like
my
'cause-
8 was what you expected.
Yeah. 'cause
You
you're a
throw 'em out
floozy.
all the
You
time.
said an 8?
You're
Yeah.
a floozy.
Holy shit.
I like
That's
it.
why it got so high.
I like it.
No, it's
I
not
do. I
bad.
like
It's
it.
definitely not bad. I wasn't expecting such a high rating from because I know that you guys aren't like bourbon guys.
I
so.
just don't like sweet bourbons.
Yeah, fair
Like
enough.
this
fair
for
enough.
me has complexity, spice,
Mm-hmm.
and there's flavor in the back.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at. I can't even tell you how this would improve.
You like bourbons that don't taste like bourbons.
No, I just don't like sweet bourbons.
No,
What's a bourbon?
but-
What's a bourbon that you think's a sweet bourbon? Then
Typically, but typically when you think of a bourbon, that's the
what
characteristic
does
of
give me
it.
an example?
Jack Daniel's apple?
Like a well, no,
Honey,
Jack
the
Daniel's.
honey.
Jack Daniel's is technically a Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
So I would
Shout
say-
out Chris Stapleton. We know you're
Yeah,
listening.
I know. I would like Buffalo Trace is like the sweetest I'll go, but even then it has a sweet profile to it.
I like Buffalo Trace. a
So do
lot.
I. I think it's one of my favorite
Yeah.
bourbons.
Bourbons.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But even
Yeah, I can't
even
be
that
mad at
has
that.
a sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
sure.
So
Yeah.
I just feel
Jack
like
Daniels definitely does.
yeah, but it's more
Again,
from the
it's
corn.
not-
But
but
it's a
again,
Tennessee
it's-
whiskey. It's
it's-
not a
yeah,
bourbon.
All right.
It's not a bourbon.
But yeah,
So for me, I just
What is that?
I like
is that Tennessee
bourbons.
whiskey?
This
Is
is
that
more
just
interest-
branded as fucking bourbon?
no. This is bourbon.
Does this say bourbon or
Ten-
it is a bourbon.
Tennessee whiskey?
This is bourbon whiskey.
Okay.
Kentucky.
It's Kentucky, but it's bourbon.
It's bourbon.
Bourbon
Yeah,
is the
but
strict fucking guidelines that you have to follow.
Jack Daniels is like one of the only ones that classifies as Tennessee, and that's because they filter it through charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that process, it's
no
no longer a
I
bourbon.
love whiskey, man. Like there's
Yeah.
so much nuance to it, and without getting too deep into it, like that's one of the things I like about it the most. It's
Yeah.
like there's so much nuance. Like that is what makes it a Tennessee whiskey,
Yeah.
quote unquote. Is like the fact that it was filtered through that specific component. Like yeah, I love whiskey, and if you don't, then step your game up.
Yeah, drink some vodka or something.
It's fucking
Go do
Bacardi.
that. Yeah. Potato fucking drinks.
Mhm.
Weirdos.
Potato.
Yeah, isn't that what they make vodka out of?
Oh, yeah,
Potatoes, right?
You better-
Anyway,
you better
I mean,
relax.
fuck if I was in Russia and freezing to death, I guess, fuck it, right? What do I care about
Just
taste?
drink what you got.
This is America.
Mhm.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
USA.
Mhm.
that'll give us a 6.75 as I mentioned earlier. Again, glad to have you guys, man. Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style, 115 proof, 57 ABV. This will put some hair in your chest, man. But it don't really approach you like that. You know what I mean? And as a man who has very little, I could take some. So I'm down. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
All right. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Another episode of Whiskey Time.